Good Thursday afternoon, guys. Jerry Miller, welcome to the I Love CVille show. It's good to be with you. Loaded show, loaded show for you. We're live in Charlottesville, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world, of course, on the I Love CVille network. This is going to be a beta test of an idea I've been percolating and kicking around while in the shower, while sitting on the think tank, while driving home, while just sitting at my desk. So what we're going to do today is run a show, and we've done variations of this in the past. It's just going to be more focused. We're going to run a show of strictly headlines. I've heard from, guys, it must be a couple hundred people saying they really like the headline aspect of what I'm doing and how the news is relayed in a very approachable and succinct fashion. So today's show, a headline-focused show on news that I come across, that I curate and aggregate, and then pass along to you. If this idea gains traction and momentum, I can envision doing headlines in some capacity on this network from a morning and evening setting. And I think what we're developing is the 2020 version. What are we, July 15th or 16th, Judah? Judah Wickhauer is our fabulous director. The July 2020 version of the morning newspaper, when you used to walk outside your door a long time ago, and there was a newspaper for the morning, and the evening newspaper. There used to be a time, folks, and this was even before my time, there used to be a time where folks at home would get a newspaper in the morning that had the headlines from the previous evening, and then they would also get a paper in the evening or at night, and that newspaper had the headlines for that day, often competing companies. So I'm like, why don't we come up a better version of that concept? I mean, innovation is one of my skill sets. And why don't we come up with a better version of that concept? And why don't we put the same morning and evening headlines on this screen right here for you to digest them at home, on your Bluetooth in your car, while waiting, okay? And it's content that's potentially timeless, certainly approachable, undoubtedly educational. So if this goes how I think it's going to go, and I think, frankly, it's going to go extremely well, you may see an iteration or multiple iterations of what I'm about to do from a morning standpoint and an evening standpoint for your viewing pleasure, and a strategic partner or two in the community associated with the headlines. So all right, I think we're ready to go. Before we do, let's talk some strategic partners. One of them is Interstate Pest and Service Companies. This company is amazing. I mean, amazing. 4 generations of family at Interstate Pest and Service Companies, almost 100 team members. I've seen them handle the pandemic well, and they've done it by doing well by their team members and their customers alike. Interstate Pest and Service Companies, a home's best friend. And how about the good doctor, Scott Wagner. Love Scott Wagner. Chiropractic and sports medicine, the guy changing people's lives, physical therapy, sports medicine, chiropractic care. Who's got your back? Scott Wagner has got your back. All right, so this is the iteration of what we're about to see that you may see materialize into new content on the I Love CVille network as we innovate on a day-to-day basis. Judah Wickhauer, are you ready to run headlines? You're ready, Judah Wickhauer. I like that. I like that Judah Wickhauer is ready to run headlines. I love Judah Wickhauer in this program. All right, headline number 1, CBS19 News. Put it on screen, Judah Wickhauer. Albemarle County Board of Supervisors meeting last night. Albemarle County Board of Supervisors meeting last night. It goes late into the wee hours of the night. As a result, local media not following the storylines very closely. However, viewers of this program, and I will get to this gentleman very shortly, documented the meeting and had a report to relay to us viewers. I'll give you the headline. You see it on screen. Judah, thumbs up, baby boy. If that headline's on screen, Albemarle County is considering going back to phase 2. Come to me, Judah Wickhauer. The Board of Supervisors are going to write a letter to the governor of Virginia, old Ralph, and basically say, let's go back to phase 2 from phase 3. Let's throttle and slow down the local economy. So I have a couple of questions for you. It's obviously a developing story. Let's go to the next headline from Allison on Twitter. So Allison is the Albemarle County reporter for the Daily Progress. The story went past deadline, so you didn't see news of this in the paper. However, Allison, who does a great job on social media, somebody get Allison Rabel on the show. Someone tag Allison Rabel on the feed. Crafty Panda, Allison Rabel, Crafty Panda. Somebody tag her and let her know we're talking about her right here. All right, so you see it behind me. I'm going to show the thread. I'm going to expand and stand up Judah Wickhauer. It went past the print deadline. So this is a story that no one's really talking about. I follow it closely. Allison does a hell of a job on social media. She's underpaid and frankly should be paid a lot more. All the progress reporters are severely underpaid. I know this because I was one. Okay? Albemarle County Board of Supervisors last night said we want to go back to a phase 2 situation in the county of Albemarle. Okay? This is going to impact small businesses. This is going to impact hospitality, tourism. This is going to impact retail and restaurants and weddings and events. And you have an aggregation of, 6 people? 6 people that live in the community? 6 people from Albemarle County pretty much determining whether we're in phase 3 or phase 2. That scares the HE double hockey sticks out of me. That scares the HE double hockey sticks out of me. Let's go to the thread over here, Judah. We'll go to the thread. Look at me, look at me, look at me. So these dudes are doing this in a closed session. I'm reading from her tweets. Allison, someone tag Allison on Facebook. They're going back into a closed session, she says. She's live tweeting the meeting yesterday. We have folks on the board concerned. Ann Malik, I'm talking about you. And Ann, she's come on in this network. She's a Board of Supervisors at Whitehall. And I respect you. You're a very kind person. I enjoyed your company in our time together when you came on this show. Multiple times. You had a live debate with, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Judah. Steve? The guy she beat badly in the Whitehall district. Steve Harvey, okay? But Ann, I respect you. I like you as a person. Some of your thinking and some of the strategies and commentary and positions that you're making as one of the 6 leaders in the county of Albemarle leaves me flabbergasted, confused, frustrated, angry, and really calls for concern. And when you at the Board of Supervisors are making comments about phase 3, phase 2, throttle the economy, keep people inside, making comments about UVA students, and if UVA students are caught on grounds partying or not being healthy, they should be expelled or kicked out of school. I understand we all have a lot of emotions going on now, but please, big picture, forest through the trees. So long story short, the county of Albemarle is trying to go to phase 2. This happened last night under the cloak of darkness in a Zoom conference call fashion, in a closed setting, after deadline for TV, after deadline for print. Let's go to a viewer of this program. Viewer of this program, his name is Gary Grant. Gary Grant, you watching right now? On one of the Facebook pages, the Instagrams, the LinkedIn, or the Twitter. Say Gary Grant's watching, baby boy. So Gary Grant offers, I got it here on screen. I mean, just a fabulous analysis of the meeting. Now, I will say this. Gary, I know him from the show. I will say this. I'm not expecting him to be a trained journalist. He's a concerned citizen who offered and shared his thoughts to me through Facebook Messenger. I've never met him in person. We've only connected through the I Love CVille network, and I love a lot of the commentary that Gary Grant shares. So I'm going to read you a couple of things from Gary Grant, who's a local in this community, that had this to say about the Board of Supervisors meeting he watched last night. Jerry, at 10:51 p.m. tonight, that was last night, at 10:51 p.m., Wednesday, July 15th, by voice consensus, no motion, second, or vote, the Albemarle Board of Supervisors agreed to return stay in COVID Phase 2 for precautions, requirements, rather than to move to operate under Phase 3's more relaxed guidelines. Additionally, the board authorized Chairman Ned Galloway to write a letter to Governor Northam explaining that Albemarle County will not move into Phase 3 at this time because of growing worries about the recent rises in positive cases in Albemarle and in the Thomas Jefferson Health District. The board also agreed to convene a special meeting early next week, possibly Tuesday, with the only agenda item being how to regulate and enforce Phase 2 precautions in Albemarle County. Jerry, the board also authorized the county's executives to immediately notify local sports organizations that access to county athletic fields will not be allowed. This happened, Jerry, with no motion, no second or vote, by voice affirmation only, late last night. Give the show a like and a share. Okay, so this is freaking blowing my mind. All right, give the show a like and a share. Give the show a like and a share. And then we'll get to the next headline. This is blowing my mind. We have 6 people, regular people, average, everyday people, that are boards of supervisors. And these 6 people, in a clandestine, super DL and under the radar setting, are determining, and I understand they're the leaders of the county, are determining Phase 2, Phase 3 for Albemarle County and all the people that live in it, happen after deadline. I mean, we see 2 paragraphs in CBS19 right here. This is what, CBS19? This is not on NBC 29. It happened after deadline for the Daily Progress. CBS19, Allison's. Did someone tag Allison? This report from CBS19 is directly tied to Allison's Twitter thread. This should scare the HE double hockey sticks out of you. And let's ignore the fact that a lot of folks say, let's throttle, let's put it in Phase 2. I am not in that camp. We can agree to disagree on this. What should scare you, regardless of the Phase 2, Phase 3 crossroads, what should scare the heck out of you is you are probably just finding out about this right now through this show in the middle of the day. The next day. Give it a like, give it a share if you're just finding out about this right now. Ay, carajo. Heavily invested in the stock market myself. It's earnings week. A lot of the banks are reporting their earnings. Jamie Dimon, one of the best CEOs on Wall Street, one of the best bankers there is, a man who's weathered multiple recessions, Jamie Dimon. Look it up, Jamie Dimon. I mean, the dude is a beast. Jamie Dimon straight up says on the earnings call, we have not reached the recession of this pandemic. Said that yesterday. Jamie Dimon. His particular bank, along with a number of other banks on Wall Street, are stockpiling capital now because of the fear of many small business loans defaulting. And they're required legally to have the money backed up. I think we, as a concerned public and as citizens of Charlottesville, Albemarle County, and Central Virginia, should be very, very, very mindful, and this frustrates people what I'm about to say, but I don't care. We should be very, 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 very mindful of the fragile and precarious nature of the economy around us, not locally, but countrywide and globally. Yesterday, was it Glomsky, Judah?
Yes, Glomsky.
Of Vitae Spirits?
Vitae.
Vitae Spirits. Ian is the guy, the distiller behind Vitae Spirits. Previous to that, he was a researcher that researched pandemics. I would very much encourage you to go to ilovecville.com and hear what someone locally with 20 years of researching viruses and pandemics has to say about moving forward. In a snapshot, he basically said the destruction from the economy will far outweigh the collateral damage from COVID-19 and health-related issues. Do the research yourself. Listen to Ian. Let's go to the next story. This one, a positive one. Albemarle County, $1.25 million in grants to small businesses. Judah, get it on screen. This is from the Daily Progress. J-Dubs. Let me know when that's on screen. Amigo, the county, $1.25 million of CARES funding to business to grants for small businesses. It's going to be chopped up in a number of ways. It approximately 84 of the businesses, I have it on screen if you want to come to me, 84 grants of $10,000 for businesses with 2 to 10 employees, 8 grants of $20,000 for businesses with 11 to 20 employees, and 4 grants of $50,000 for businesses with 20 employees or more. This follows on the heels of the city of Charlottesville announcing a similar grant program. First, I'm going to look at it positively because I'm a positive guy. Thank you. Thank you, Albemarle County, for offering money to the backbone of your municipality, the small business owners that do the hiring. Thank you, Albemarle County. Thank you, City of Charlottesville. Thank you for offering us money, the small business community, for serving as the backbone of your respective municipality as well. I will then offer an item of constructive criticism. Through no fault of your own, City of Charlottesville, and through no fault of your own, Albemarle County, the money that is going to be dished and allocated from Albemarle and the city to small business owners is too little, too late. Now, I understand the wheels of bureaucracy, and I understand government is proliferated with red tape, speed bumps, and roadblocks from keeping any kind of true entrepreneurial progress from happening. That's the nature of government. It's a slow-moving, rusted, antiquated, just downright unprogressive and uninnovative and entrepreneurial machine. But what has happened with the money that is now coming out for the city and the county, it's going to the businesses that undoubtedly have vulnerability, uncertainty, and need our support and help. I'm not marginalizing that. But the businesses that truly needed the grants that are now coming from the federal government and trickling down to the local level, the businesses that truly needed the money have folded like 5 weeks ago. Folded like a chair 5 weeks ago. So while I'm grateful that members of the community have access to the funds, we are now in Charlottesville, let's see, April, May, June, July. We're roughly 5 months into this. The devastation, the destruction, the demoralization, the downright dirty depression has already occurred to many small business owners that needed this money months ago. Next headline. Jerry, Judah, you ready to rock and roll? Virginia High School League, put it on screen, VHSL. Virginia High School League, VHSL. Somebody get Billy Hahn in the mix. Billy Hahn, one-time principal at Monticello High School, friend of the show. Love some Billy Hahn, love some Billy Hahn, love some Billy Hahn. He's the executive director of the Virginia High School League. Billy Hahn is now. And he is now dealing with 3 models which we covered on the show yesterday. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you watch this show for the following reasons, I believe. You watch this show to learn. You watch this show because it's approachable and informative, perhaps entertaining to you. You watch the show because the localized nature of the content and the fact that we take macro storylines and we dial them into a Charlottesville and Central Virginia community. You also watch this show for my opinion, and I don't hesitate to give it to you. It's going to be honest, it's going to be real, it's going to be from a man who's extremely successful in business, that's a cautious optimist. And the Virginia High School League, boys and girls, is going to do this. They're going to do Model 3, and in Model 3, we have a delayed start to the sports season. The athletic directors and the principals around the community are asking for Model 3. The scuttlebutt I'm hearing from the Virginia High School League and the friends I have over there is Model 3 is going to be a reality. And Model 3, boys and girls, is just a delayed start to the season and a compressed, truncated schedule. Under this plan, public school sports across the Commonwealth would start in December. Winter sports would start December 14th. First game slated on December 28th. 2 weeks of preseason. Ay caramba, chico. Only 2 weeks of preseason. Then you have fall sports starting on February 15th. Spring sports starting on April 12th. You're going to have a truncated, abbreviated, shortened season starting in December. You're going to have a bunch of sports compressed back to back to back. You're going to be asking your teachers, who are also your head coaches and your assistant coaches, to work balls to the wall from December to into the summer. You're also going to expect the same from your student athletes. How this is going to impact college recruiting, only God knows, because college recruiting happens in the fall for football. And it's not going to happen now, football to the spring. So what is that going to do for the football player that's trying to get a scholarship, and maybe that's his only way to a 4-year degree? And guys, not everyone in high school football is the 5-star that everyone in America knows about. There's so many people in high school football that need the 5 stars and the 4 stars to be placed at a college team. Then the 3 stars, the 2 stars, and the 1 stars get to go to the Division II schools, the Division III schools, and they're getting financial aid at a Longwood or a Hampton-Sydney to play sports. Had the opportunity to play college soccer myself at Hampton-Sydney. They can't offer you scholarships, but one way Hampton-Sydney can help you with the ridiculous tuition of a private school in Virginia is by offering you financial aid or granted aid because you're playing sports for their college. Don't just think about the incredibly talented football players of the world. Think about the young man that lives down the street from you that's been playing football all his life, and what he does between the lines will never turn into a professional paycheck, but it will translate into an abbreviated or discounted tuition because he can make a couple tackles and carry a football. His life, and I'm using football as a microcosm here, but this is all sports: softball, lacrosse, golf, cross country, basketball, volleyball. There are juniors and seniors, and I heard Barbara Lundgren on the Virginia Wedding and Event Showcase talk about this so poignantly this morning about her granddaughter. There are high school athletes that have been playing sports their entire life for the opportunity not to play professional sports because they're realists, but for the opportunity to play 4 years of college sports at some level in America, fulfilling a lifelong dream. And by doing a truncated, abbreviated, shortened high school sports season, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this will certainly impact the awareness, the attention, the ability for assistant coaches in college athletics to hit the road and scout athletes to fill their rosters. Mark that down. I'm fired up today. Judah, can you tell I'm fired up?
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm fired up today. Let's just throw that on the floor. I really think this would make a phenomenal show in the morning to wake people up like a jolt of coffee. Here's your morning headlines in 30 minutes or less. And I could probably cut it down to 21 minutes or less. Shoot, I could probably do this in 12 minutes. And then 1 in the afternoon to recap the day. I think it would crush. And would be arguably one of the best pieces of content we watch. Judah, can we go to the University of Virginia, baby boy? Let's get the headline on screen from the Cavalier Daily. I touched on this briefly yesterday. So, Dean of Students Alan Groves basically sent a letter to students because students were rage caging on grounds at Thomas Jefferson University. All right, so let me do this, Judah. Go back to me, and let's go to the big screen. I'm blowing this photo up. So this is from the Cavalier Daily. I went to UVA. Midsummers was one of my most favorite times of the year. A lot of beautiful ladies at Midsummers. Very little schooling you have to do. Few students, not much responsibility, not much supervision. It's pretty much 2.5 months. James Watson, you know what I'm talking about, James Watson. Love some James Watson on this program. It's summer in Charlottesville, if you're a student at UVA, is arguably the best time to be a student. I spent every summer in Charlottesville, literally. When I left to go to school as a first year from Williamsburg to Charlottesville, I never came back. Never came back. Okay? And summer is phenomenal. Here's the problem. Are you on me, J-Dubs? You're on me? Here's the problem. Look at this screen here. So this past weekend, here's what's happening. This is crazy. This is crazy. So when I was in school at UVA, there wasn't really like cameras and computers in everybody's hand. We had flip phones. I was there 2000, 2004. Now everybody in America with these things in their hand, they have a camera, a photo, video, and then once they capture the photo, they see people party. Oh my God, Johnny's doing a keg stand on Grady Avenue. There goes Bryce bonging a beer on 10th Street, on 14th Street. I see Laura. Laura's getting a little close to Johnny. Maybe she wants to get on the keg stand next. Or maybe Laura wants something else from Johnny. Okay, so anybody can see Laura and Johnny doing the keg stands, playing beer pong, playing Beirut, playing flip cup. They're photo and videoing the parties at Midsummers. And then they're posting the photos and the videos of the parties at Midsummers on social media. Basically their own quasi-journalists in a lot of ways. These photos managed to make their way to the Cavalier Daily and the office of the Dean of Students. The Dean of Students says, "What are you morons doing? You morons are literally going to kibosh the opening of the University of Virginia for in-person education if you continue to party like it's 2003 when Jerry was here, as opposed to 2020 when there's a historical pandemic of epic human proportions." So he says, boys and girls, and I'm going to read you the quote verbatim. UVA students, all of this will come to nothing if reckless behavior that was seen this past weekend continues. If such reckless behavior continues, we will not make it long into the fall semester before a significant outbreak occurs, and we will then need to send students home. That's the self-interested motivation for you to do better. So, we have a dean of students that basically said to the students, I'm working the vocals a lot lately with a lot of programming here. Let me get a, what is this? An Altoid. All right. So we have a dean of students who basically said, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. If you want school to happen, do better. I asked this question, Judah, to Catherine Goodman of the Thomas Jefferson Health District. Judah, do you have that sound ready to go?
Give me just a second.
Okay.
All right.
Catherine joined us on the Virginia Wedding and Event Showcase. I asked her of the impact of UVA in this community. She had very straightforward commentary to offer. Judah, I'd love to play that sound in 3 seconds if you can do it. You ready?
Yep.
Catherine Goodman, the fabulous public relations and communications manager for the Thomas Jefferson Health District, on Barbara Lundgren's Virginia Wedding and Event Showcase, played in 3, 2, 1. What are your thoughts, Catherine, on, a lot of folks nervous about this in the community with students, UVA students, returning potentially for the fall?
You know, we're working very closely with UVA on this, and I actually have a call this afternoon with the Office of Health Promotion. So we're making sure that students are very well educated Students want to see each other. So it's a challenge in general. So we're to follow the right guidelines, that we have policies in place for if students come back. We have ramped up our contact tracing team to make sure that we're readily available. If there is a student or a faculty, or quite honestly, anybody in the community who tests positive, we are ready to be able to do a thorough investigation and trying to work with the university as much as we can on that.
All right, so I'm torn on this. Catherine, you're phenomenal. Catherine Goodman deserves a raise. And Thomas Jefferson Health District team members, thank you for your service to this community. Catherine, thank you for joining us on Barbara Lundgren Show, the Virginia Wedding and Event Showcase. I was very impressed with your professionalism, your straightforwardness, and your speaking ability. You crushed it today, okay? So, I'm on the side of the fence of what my perspective is of what's best for the community is for us to wear masks in public, maintain social distancing, be extremely mindful of the magnitude and significance and severity of this COVID-19 virus, and really understand that this guy or gal, we'll personify it as, let's personify it as not having a sex of any kind. This beast, if I'm going to personify COVID, this devil, this beast, this horrible, horrible entity, I respect it. But this beast, this devil, this horrible, horrible entity will not cause me to live in fear. It will not. I will be cautious, but I will not live in fear. And I understand the importance of having an economy intact as we come out of this, because if we don't, the most vulnerable folks living on margin, and unfortunately, a lot of folks that are people of color will come back to economy and potentially not have the frontline jobs that they had beforehand. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, I respect the importance of UVA students on grounds here. Do you understand what I'm saying? If students continue, and I would be doing the same, because I was a bad boy in college. I would be doing the same. If students don't straighten up, the semester's not going to happen. The semester's not going to happen. If we continue to give ammunition to folks that don't want UVA to be on grounds in the first place, speaking to you, Mayor Walker, then that ammunition will be leveraged to get what folks want, is not having 25,000 additional people in the city. And so many people, and I'm not knocking. So many people feel that we shouldn't have students on grounds this fall, and I get it. But I have to emphasize this. I will continue to emphasize this. And I will emphasize this despite this causing some friction from a large portion of the population that disagrees with me. If you remove 25,000 people from an economy that is 50,000, the city of Charlottesville, that is 300,000, Central Virginia, folks, you're going to cripple. You're going to cripple the economy. You're going to cripple the corner. You're going to cripple the corner. You're going to cripple the hotels. You will cripple the hotels if they don't come. You will cripple restaurants and merchants and retail. How about the Uber drivers that rely on students? I mean, please, the forest through the trees. Please. Next headline, Dairy Market, Judah. Let's get this bad boy on screen. I got it on screen behind me. We'll pick up the pace and tempo. Dairy Market is going to be home to drive-in movie nights. Chris Henry, Stony Point, dude's an innovator. Chris Henry is one of the good guys in this development business. He's got that PBM, that Paul Manning money behind him. Chris Henry does. He's got infrastructure in place. Someone get Chris Henry on the stream. Someone tag Chris Henry. Someone tag Jody Mills. These people doing it the right way. You got serious capital in your corner in Paul Manning's bank account and PBM. You got human infrastructure in place that is skillful and talented. You got premium properties. I mean, Dairy Market is a premium property. What's he doing at Spring Creek? Spring Creek, what he's got over there is premium. So I want to give him props. This is the story here. Drive-in movie nights at Dairy Market this summer. A summer series partnered with the Virginia Film Festival. It's beautiful. We'll be there, my family. You can get in your car, drive in your car, stay in your pod of humans that you interact with, wife, kid, the people in your house, watch a movie in partnership with the Virginia Film Festival in the heart of Charlottesville. Family, 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 family. Fine time. Okay? I love that what he's doing at Dairy Market, Jody Mills, I love what they're doing is they're willing to, even them, pivot and innovate. These experiential events, like drive-in movie nights, touch the marketplace. The marketplace is touched by the brand, sees what's happening, and these are the type of decisions that will determine the winners and losers when the dust settles. 2 more headlines. Actually, 3 more headlines. Woo. How about Cameron Webb? He's been on this show. Dr. Cameron Webb, he is running for the 5th Congressional District. Do we have people watching us outside the studio right now, Judah?
There's a guy checking things out.
Yeah. That's weird. It's weird, dude. It's weird, dude. Talking to you, dude. No, I don't want to see that, dude. Shirt stays on, dude. Seriously, dude. Hey, what's going on over there? Judah?
He's leaving.
Creepy dude. Dr. Webb is out fundraising his opponent, Bob Good. This is shocking. Put me on screen here. Dr. Webb has raised $850,623. Good job, Dr. Webb. Dr. Webb has raised over $850K. His opponent, a Republican, and Bob Good, has raised just $75,000, $850,000 plus for this man. This is a good-looking dude right there. Lawyer and someone get Cameron Webb on the stream. Tag Cameron Webb on the stream right now. Somebody tag Cameron Webb. This is a good-looking dude. Dude's a doctor. Dude's a lawyer. Dude worked for Obama in Obama's cabinet. Dude's got a nasty crossover and can stroke a jumper from downtown. It can also attack the rack off the dribble drive. Dr. Webb, I've seen that crossover, and I've seen you tack the rack off the dribble drive. Dude, you're explosive and dynamic. Dude is also a hell of a fundraiser. Dr. Webb, $850K plus. Bobby Good, $75,000. Massive disparity. Massive disparity as we head to the November election. Shockingly, terrifyingly, Bob Good may be still the favorite in a gerrymandered, Republican-intoxicated 5th district that's larger than the state of New Jersey. That's because of the gerrymandered nature of the district. Interestingly, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody on the stream, the voter base in Charlottesville and in the central Virginia area is like a little less than, a third of the voter base for the 5th? This guy's crushing from a donation standpoint. Very impressed. Very impressed. We'll follow that race closely. All right, 2 fun ones to close. First, the home builder one. And yes, and then I'll close with prophylactives. Yes, you heard prophylactives. Prophylactives are synonymous for...
Prophylactics.
Oh, sorry. That's why we have Judah. Let's go to the Judah camera. Can we do that? I said prophylactics. Is prophylactics not the right word?
It's prophylactics.
One more time for me.
Prophylactic.
Prophylactic, so not prophylactic. Okay, that's Judah Whitcower. Knows about the You know about the prophylactics?
I've heard a thing or two.
Oh, okay, Judah. Look right there. All right, Casanova. All right, Judah. All right, Casanova. Is that why you did the haircut and the beard trim? Is that why? I mean, we got a little special lady over there. What's going on, Judah?
Long hair does not agree with summer.
Okay.
Hot weather.
All right. All right, so before we get to the, can I just call them rubbers? Is that okay, Judah? Before we get to those, let's go to the home builder story. Positive news. Positive news. Custom home construction in the building of homes in America, home builders are crushing it right now. They are crushing it right now. People are sprinting from densely populated urban environments to space and clean and room and quarantine and home offices. The home builder, I have a financial stake of nearly $3,000 in a home builder ETF, and that home builder ETF is crushing. We may not have a V-shaped recovery for the economy, but we are having a V-shaped recovery. Flying V, Gordon Bombay, Mighty Ducks, ducks stick together, ducks quack together, the Flying V. We are having a V-shaped recovery for custom home building and new home construction and building a dream home. I mean, that's just facts. And I've seen it firsthand with a client that we work with, and John Kerber, one of the most honorable and high character and reputable and honest guys out there, John Kerber of Dominion Custom Homes. I've seen it firsthand, the value of building a custom home with a John Kerber. Home builders are crushing. The home builder ETF is smoking hot right now. I mean, wouldn't you not rather leave a densely populated area where cooties are everywhere and then go to a area where you can relax and sprawl and have a couple of home offices, you can quarantine, and you don't have to be on top of each other? I would. I did. I did this March 28th. March 28th. All right, Judah, what do you think before we go to the final out here? I'm going to go to you. I think, Judah, that we have, although you didn't stream this show to my page, I'm noticing that now. It's kind of frustrating, but that's all right. I think...
I did.
Is it streaming there?
It should be.
I don't see it. I think we're onto something with the headline show. What are your thoughts, J-Dubs? Like a 30-minute headline show?
You talking about a separate show from this?
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I see you're excited about it. I love it. We'll do it. It's okay. I know what you're going to say. We don't have to do anything. We don't have no negativity. Ooh, Liza the dog is out. Get the studio cam on Liza the dog. Is that putting too much pressure on you, the I Love CVille mascot? Oh, wait, she's going back under the desk. Nah, it's all right. All right, let's close with this. This will be the last headline. This is a fun one. Do you know what COVID-19 is doing? COVID-19 has impacted the stock market. COVID-19 has ravaged the restaurant industry. COVID-19 has hushed the wedding space right now. COVID-19 has demoralized live music. COVID-19 has put into question office space. COVID-19 has made designer mask and eclectic and craft mask very in vogue and popular. COVID-19 has made the handshake maybe something of the past. You try and shake somebody's hand right now, they look at you like you have freaking leprosy. COVID-19 has made anybody that's coughing for overuse of his vocals concerned that people are like, oh, the dude's coughing, what's he got over there? COVID-19 has made public transportation, like subways, potentially irrelevant. COVID-19 has made education in person at schools across America nearly impossible. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of shapes and ages of all sizes, COVID-19 is severely impacting the sale of protection, sexual condoms specifically. I was reading on one of the financial news sites, the CEO of Durex Condoms said, quote, intimate occasions, end quote, are down dramatically. As a result, the sale of Durex condoms is plummeting. Makes sense, right? You're not closing down the bar. You're not going on a date to Mas Tapas. You're not at Commonwealth Sky Bar to last call and inhibition's a little bit loose. You're not thinking of going to Club 216 for a little rowdiness. You're not having the house party. You're not inviting your friends over for a little. Do kids still play spin the bottle? I don't think they play spin the bottle. Do they play 7 minutes and a half? I don't think they play 7. Do they do that anymore? I mean, what am I asking? You're not having the rendezvous. You're not seeing people. You're freaking quarantining. You're wearing masks, and you're so scared, as we should be. I am not marginalizing. We're so nervous to have spit droplets come out of our mouth and into the air that we're protecting ourselves with masks. Folks are so concerned about being 6 feet apart, not shaking hands, instead doing the foot or the elbow, that Durex says people aren't being intimate. I always thought in recessionary times, I always thought that there was a few things that had the bulletproof nature, or in recessionary times had the recessionary proof nature about them. Booze sales have proven to be recession proof, although COVID-19 is impacting that. And intimacy? I mean, I would use other words, but I'm trying to be, family friendly. Intimacy, Durex says, is at all-time low. And they're tracking it, but the sales of their condoms. So we'll close the show on that. This crazy world we live in, right? What a crazy world we live in. We just got a message via private from Andre Xavier. Let's put it on the big screen. Love some Andre Xavier on this program. This is moments ago. I swear, every time I turn on the newspaper, every time I turn on, get online or look at the news, there's new news. 2 minutes ago, Daily Progress, the University of Virginia students will have to submit a negative COVID-19 test before returning to Charlottesville for the start of classes next month. Why'd you laugh about that, Judah? Let's go to Judah Wickower cam. That gave you a chuckle. Tell me about that.
Because you could contract the disease the very next day. I took a test at my parents' request.
You took a COVID test?
Yeah.
You never told me that.
And
wait, hold on. You're about to make my wife very happy. Wife, Mrs. Miller, are you listening right now? Hold on 1 second. I don't mean to interrupt you here. Let's keep the camera on. Studio cam to go from me to you. We're going to have a little convo here. Mrs. Miller, you need to listen to this here. I really interact with very few people all week. Of course, one of those people is this gentleman, Judah Wickower, who I like. He's a good friend. Tell me about the test.
I think it's worthless unless you actually
come on.
Unless you think you actually have it. How is there any worth in getting tested? I could get tested today, and I could contract COVID-19 a half an hour after I got tested. And I might not know for a week, and I'd have to wait a week to get the results of the test, and by the time I got the results of the test, I could be starting to show symptoms, possibly. Or it could maybe take another week, or I could be asymptomatic. So unless we're planning on taking tests every day, then I'm not really sure where the benefit is unless of course, you actually think you have it, in which case it would be good to know for sure. Back to you, Jerry.
Thank you. Wow. Judah Wickower. Something to say. All right. First, props to you for, best commentary addition to the program. Thank you. Back to you. There's a value to peace of mind. So you don't have the results.
I do have the results. I got the test 2 Saturdays ago, and I got a phone call from MedExpress just over a week later on a Sunday morning.
Okay, wait.
Saying that I had shown up negative.
Hold on a second. You found out this past Sunday that you were negative?
Yeah.
What the heck? And you didn't tell me this?
Why would I?
What are you talking about? We spend freaking 50 hours a week together. You didn't tell me that you have a negative COVID test.
I didn't get the test because I thought I had it. I got the test because my parents asked me to.
You got the test for peace of mind for your parents that are over 70, and they say, I spent time with you, Judah. Can you let me know you're healthy?
Right? But they both agree that there's no point in getting a test every week.
Okay. Can we say this? Can we make an agreement here that if one of us moving forward or anyone on the team moving forward gets a COVID test, we share the you know what? Let's not make that agreement. Let's strike that. I don't think I legally can. All right, I actually have to choose my words. I don't think I can legally ask you to get a COVID test, or I don't think I can legally ask you to share the results of your medical test either. So I strike that. You don't have to tell me your You know what? Keep your COVID results to yourself. You know what? It's okay if you're negative or positive. It's okay, Judah. Judah, you know what? I just want what's best for you. Take all the time you need. It's okay.
If I had gotten a positive, I would 100% have let you know.
Oh, of course you would have, because you're a good person.
But getting the test and getting the results of the test were so not news to me that I didn't even think of, I don't go around telling everyone, hey, I got a test and it was negative, because it doesn't even register to me.
Well, if people think that the test is important to them, you're not marginalizing that, but I understand your take. You're just saying for you yourself personally.
The test proves that up until that Saturday when I got the test, I was COVID-19 free.
Right. You're basically saying the issue is the lag of the results.
Not only the lag of the results, but literally any time after the test. I don't even know what to say, because people that think that someone getting a test is proof of what?
Well,
we already know that you can have it for what, up to 2 weeks without showing any signs.
Yeah.
So I don't see how a test is a benefit to anyone, unless, of course, as I said before, you think you have it.
Right. There you go. Good job today. Impressed with you. Seriously. Little time. We'll get you out of here early today for that. Seriously. I mean that. I love you guys. This is the I Love CVille show. You see what we're trying to do here, right? This headlines concept, today was the beta test. I'm going to keep refining it. I may do a morning headline show and an evening headline show. Still do the I Love CVille show. Just something I'm percolating. My name's Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille show. We'll see you, tomorrow at 10:15 with Keith Smith, the distinguished gentleman on Real Talk on the I Love CVille network tomorrow at 10:15. Take care, guys.
I noticed.
I got dust on it and falling hair on it.
What a surprise.
I don't know why I threw it. Good show.